Oh, guys, Alex Feratov here. Today we have special guest, Dennis. So, is your name Dennis or Musko? What is Musko?
Well, my government name is Dennis, but people call me by Musko. So
Oh, Musko.
yeah, so it depends on. I haven't been like really active on social media the past couple of years, so it's known for Musko. So it really depends on, but like, you can call me both.
It's easy to remember though, right? It's not as it's very unusual.
It is. It is.
Cool, awesome. Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk with Dennis on product testing. So he's running print on demand business. Last year you've done what, $5 million in revenue?
Yeah, very close to like 4.9. Just some breadcrumbs. Like very close to $5 million in sales last year. Yeah.
Very cool. So and also, yeah, Dennis is in our community. Musko is on a Musko or Dennis. Like, I just want to.
It's totally up to you. You can just
Yeah.
call me Musko. Let's just
All
leave
right,
it.
let's go. Musko. So okay, cool. So Musko is in our community, e-commerce scaling secrets, and he also doing calls. Like he's amazing, like value add, very knowledgeable, very like like you have such a positive energy. So yeah, man, I wanted to kind of like learn from you today on, and also share with guys. You can just drop like if just drop something in the comments so we know you can hear us. In terms of the product testing, right? So you built like a $5 million a year like POD business. Like the only way that I'm seeing like building like POD business is a lot of like product testing,
Yeah.
right? A lot of like different like designs and stuff like that. So that's what I want to kind of like go into. Like I want to go deeper into that. Like how do you like identify products to test? How do you like what's your product testing strategy in terms of like how much do you spend on product design? Do you like quickly kill products, or you like do you wait until like you figure it out, like you're testing different variables? Like, so those kind of things I want to go into like greater details. So I think that will be very beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, product research like stays the same whether it's like drop shipping or you do a POD. You still have your own kind of methods. When we started our POD store, that was back in 2019 in November. So we just like recently just started out, and when we had our first couple designs, they were just pretty simple. We just went to Etsy.com. Like for our industry, we don't have like we don't have like no competition like outside of like these Teespring stores and these Etsy stores. So for us it was hard to find like or look at these big players, since there was no like big players in there to find these good designs. So what we just did in the beginning, which is pretty simple, just go into Etsy, just typing whatever industry or niche you're in. For example, if you're selling like dog t-shirts, go to Etsy.com, you just type in dog t-shirts, and that's what we did, and just like found a couple of designs. We did good in the beginning. I mean, it's okay, for a start that was good. But like as we moved on, like after 6 months, sales were still not there where we wanted them to be. So we figured
How
out
much?
like,
Okay, how much did it cost you, kind of like to initially like start that business in the first place?
nothing. I mean, like outside of like Facebook ads, like really nothing. Like I did the designs in the beginning. I had like
So, Dennis, can you hear me? Hello, Dennis, can you hear me? Oh, oh, hey,
yeah,
moment. I think we lost you for a second. So,
yeah.
I think the last thing I've heard from you was that you did your own designs initially.
So I did my own designs. I had Photoshop experience, not too crazy, just basic knowledge. Also for what's the other program called, Illustrator.
Uh huh.
So designs were like it was just not like nothing too crazy, like good looking designs. There was like very simple designs. So there was like no huge upfront cost. Then we used in the beginning, we used Printful.
Mm-hmm.
So also like no upfront cost there. But they were just like, we had almost like no margins with Printful.
Mm-hmm.
And like just Facebook ads, and I was just running the ads in the beginning. So there was like no huge upfront cost.
Mm-hmm.
Just figuring out these designs. We in the beginning we had like 2-3 designs that I found on Etsy that performed well. Like not well, but like we were making some money, but with using Printful, like a lot of money was just going to Printful. But then like after 6 months, we figured, hey, like sales are just not going up. We just started testing, or we talked to a couple agencies. We started hiring an agency. They had some experience with POD, and then
Mm-hmm.
he told me, like, hey, you guys need to test like a lot of like new designs. So we started doing that. In the beginning, it was like still the same research methods, using Etsy. And then in the first 6 months, we also like had a Facebook page. So like the community started to build it up. We had like, I think in the beginning we had like 6,000 members. Facebook followers in the beginning, like the first 6 months. And after 3 months of being in business, we started posting memes daily, just
Mm-hmm.
because we need to get some content going. But we didn't have the money yet to get like some actual lifestyle images, because it's hard to tell what designs you want to like put money behind on. So we started posting memes on Facebook, and
Mm-hmm.
those like they started performing really good. Like we started doing these every single day. And then after a while, once we talked to the agency, I figured out we can like it's easy to turn a meme also into a design. So when
Mm.
there's a meme that performs well, being in e-commerce, it's all a numbers game, right? If
Yeah.
you do product research, you look at these shares, you look how many views it gets, right? Same with product research or design research for a POD. If the meme does well, there's a chance that you can put it on a t-shirt and it does well, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't cost you anything. You just right now we have a designer, but before that, I just created a simple design, just put it on a t-shirt and tested it out. And the way we tested it out in the beginning was just putting it on Facebook. Just had a new testing campaign, just testing those designs out. But there was like no consistency. We just like,
Mm-hmm.
had an idea for the design, and just tested it out here and there, like every 2 weeks, we just tested a new design. Um, but then we hired a graphic designer. She like she's awesome. I really love her. We had a chat.
She's still with you?
She's still with us. She's still with us. She is.
Wow.
She is. Like Alex and I had a chat I think last
Uh-huh.
week. And like we talked about like the age of your employees.
Yeah.
And started talking about like like getting employees that are younger.
Uh-huh.
It's funny because my graphic designer, she's older. I don't know
Yeah.
her actual age. I think she's 50 or close to 50. Hey,
Wow.
Stephanie, if you see this, no, like don't want to hurt
No,
you.
yeah. Don't take anything as a rule, right?
Yeah.
There's always like exceptions and outliers.
Yeah, so we started hiring her. It was in the beginning, I wanted to have a specific look for our brand, because if you look at these different POD brands, you see everybody has like the same look, the same fonts, the same
Yeah.
style. So in the beginning, once we had a graphic designer, like the first month, I just wanted to train her on like developing a style for us, and then also
Mm-hmm.
like teaching her like print on demand business. Because if you know graphic designs, like you can know graphic designs, but you don't know how to sell a t-shirt, right? There could be a
Mm.
design just based on the concept. It could be really good, but like like for example, if I tell the graphic designer, hey, here's a design that I want to have on a t-shirt, in the beginning she would make something super complicated. I mean, it looked good, but like if you think about it that way, our goal is to, if you're on Facebook, right, you want to get the scroll stopper. And if you have a
Mm.
complicated design, it's not going to get you the scroll stopper. And it really depends on the brand. But for us, we figured out that words on shirts just sell, right? We are in the industry, like we are in the outdoors industry, and we sell funny t-shirts. Everything is funny and it's patriotic. So we figured out like funny words on shirts just sell. So we
Mm-hmm.
started with that. Um, and tested that on Facebook. And then in our first year, that was in 2020, our first full year, we did about like $2.3 million in sales, I think.
Very nice. First full year, 2.3 million.
Yeah, that was our first
You're
year.
saying COVID helped?
COVID did help, but I think being the first one to actually do it, because we have no competition, and we actually found like the blue ocean, that really helped us.
Mm.
And like for
So
example,
by blue ocean, do you mean kind of like finding like a niche, right? Like within kind of kind of like your unique like angle or like a twist, or like being appealing, being kind of like appealing to a specific market.
yeah, exactly. So what we just did is just basically taking a niche, right, it's already working there, and for us, we needed something that they're very passionate about. Like for us to be sustainable and to grow and to build this into a brand that we can actually sell, it needed to be an audience that is very passionate about it. Actually someone who lives and breathes and does it every single day. And it got proven multiple times with like different brands that are not in our industry, but for example, Grunstyle is a huge brand.
Yeah.
Makes over $100 million a year. Also has a very passionate audience.
They're doing 100?
Yeah, they're doing over $100 million a year now.
Crazy shit.
And like, it got proven multiple times. So the concept of selling t-shirt works, right? So what we just did is we just looked for an audience where nobody's really like active in it, and there are multiple audience. You can actually like create an audience. Like it doesn't need to be a specific niche. It doesn't need to be like a sport. It doesn't need to be cycling, skiing, or whatever. It can simply also like be, for example, it's another brand. They're also like just selling t-shirts just for moms, but like not just moms in general, like moms drink, right? And that is just a totally like a new audience, but there are people in it, right?
Wow.
So it's just like
so it's kind of like a niche within the niche.
No, for us, luckily it's a whole niche, because we're actually the first one to do it. But like just just to give some info, like you can actually also create a niche within a niche, and like you can be very successful with it if you do it right. Because with POD you can get very creative, and you're unlimited. You don't have like if you think about a regular like a regular e-commerce store, you're attached to one product. But like with POD, if you have the right audience and you know how to create designs, you can do whatever, right? So like, but for us, luckily, yeah, we are in a niche where it's super broad. Not super broad, but like the niche, it's a niche, but like we have the whole niche.
That's cool. So yeah, I'll show guys like I don't know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
I can see it. I can see it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is the Grunstyle. This is the one that you have referred to, right?
Yeah.
Grunstyle
has been in the game.
Fuck excuses, spin the wheel.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Grunstyle is such a cool brand. Like I actually like this brand. They've been in the game, I think, since 2010. And they've just been growing and just doing a lot of cool stuff. Like for POD, you can do like so many things outside of just like your store and just your email marketing or whatever marketing channel, right? And you can actually build a cool community because you're selling t-shirts or whatever. It doesn't like necessarily work with canvases, for example. But like t-shirts, like people are buying these things because they resonate with what they're saying, what the design says, and they love to rep the brand.
Yeah.
Well, they like to rep the design first, but like like once you start doing stuff outside of like your website and start doing like some cool stuff on your Facebook page, doing some giveaways, doing some cool funny stuff, people like to like it, and like then you're gonna start like building a community, kind of like a frat house, right? Like people like it really depends on the brand, but like for example, Grunstyle is one. There's some other POD brands that are crushing it, also like just selling funny t-shirts. But like, think about it. If you sell funny stuff, you can also like do funny stuff on your social media platforms.
Can you name some another like example of the brand that's doing well like in this space?
It's Piper Lou collection is one of them.
How it's called?
Piper Lou. It's PIPER
Piper.
And then LOU.
LO. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, like, and that we talked about this as well. Like, for me, it's called bitch fuel. That's hilarious. I had this, like, I don't know, it's like misconception or like kind of like idea that like the apparel has, like, in general, like low margins, and that it, like, I mean, first, like, yeah, it's like a lot of product that, so it's not kind of like, there's a lot of people like in e-commerce, like, let's say drop shipping as one kind of like model of it. It's like starting with one product store. It's literally one product, one SKU, right? Here you
Mhm.
have like so many SKUs. Like, you have obviously the cost of fulfillment,
Yep.
like, obviously and the margins and stuff like that. So, like, what's your view of that? Like, do you see this as a kind of like a more competitive, like more difficult business to run, or like for you it's like all the same in terms of like it's because you already have that experience, if that makes
Well,
sense?
all businesses have its ups and downs, right?
Uh-huh.
For POD, POD, just like POD, like you don't have, like, if you actually like have a supplier that just does POD for you,
Uh-huh.
it's not going to be like a huge problem for you to have a lot of SKUs. An issue that you're going to run into is like once you start scaling, or let's say for example in Q4, right? Um, One issue is that you're going to run into like long shipping times because it's POD. POD
Mm.
time to print. Whereas where you do like screen printing, which is going to be in bulk, that takes an upfront cost, and then also at the same time you need to figure out what designs you're going to scale in Q4, and
Mm.
that's an issue that we always have. Like, you can have a good design in August, right? And then you're going to start finding a new design in October, and you want to scale that up. Now you don't have the time to get that actually screen printed and scale it up. But if you do want to like do POD, it's going to take longer to get it shipped. Some things there that I do not like about this business, but there's any business part of any business that I don't like. But with POD, you talk about margins. Um, somebody already also asked in the chat here about like Printful,
Uh-huh.
uh, and how to make the production cost cheap. In
Yeah.
Printful, we it Printful charges you a cost for each print. So you have you have your front print, you have your back print, you have your additionally you can also like add your sleeve prints as well. So like if you have like everything, we did like front prints, sleeve prints, and back tag prints. I think our cost per t-shirt was like $20 something, and we sold it for
Shit.
20. Yeah, and we sold it for $29.99. So like there were just like no margins. But like I didn't care about the cost. Like I just like like I'd rather eat up a little bit of like the negatives just to get some data.
Wow.
But,
You still managed to make it profitable somehow?
with $20, no.
No, there's no
No, we
way.
got it. Like that's what we did in the beginning. In the beginning, we did those, like we had those Printful numbers. But then we actually have a business partner, by the way. So we switched to a small warehouse, just a 2,000 square feet warehouse. And actually we actually hired a couple of guys from Grunstyle. So we received a lot of information from them on how to like the information on how to properly do
Do
this.
they have their own, like, at that scale, like, do they have their own manufacturing, their own factory?
Oh yeah, they have a huge warehouse. They have everything. They do screen printing and bull, like the machinery costs like a shit ton of money. It's just, but that's also like they have like I think they have over like 400 employees.
Wow.
Like it's a lot. Like and it's the thing. I don't know if they're still all veterans, but like it's a lot of people all, like just in the warehouse just printing it. And like think about it, like
Wow.
$100 million in sales. That's just a lot of t-shirts you got to print. But like for us in the beginning, we had a warehouse. We started heat pressing these t-shirts. We started buying these t-shirts, like these blanks in bulk from SNS. What's it called? SNS Wear
Mm-hmm.
or Active Wear. I forgot the names. My business partners handling all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But we started getting these blanks in bulk, and just started doing these heat press in our little warehouse. That did well until Q4 hits and we started scaling. So our warehouse was too small.
Uh-huh.
then we switched to another supplier. We managed to find.
Are people like, so let's say like do they have like when you have this, let's say this kind of like business model, people have very high expectations in terms of the shipping times, like they want it like very fast because or they're okay to wait.
Our shipping time is not bad. Like we have fulfillment times of like a couple of days, like 3 to 4, 5 business days. And then we ship it out of Michigan, so shipping is just regular USPS shipping, so not that bad. We don't have any complaints. I think even like before December hit, and that's in December that's where we had like the issues in the last 2 years, just because of COVID and just shipping was just delayed. I think in total we had like, I don't know, like 6-7 chargebacks in total.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like it's like nothing
since you started the business.
Yeah, like just like before December, we had like more chargebacks like once we actually like scaled and then ran into some issues with production.
Yeah.
And then just the typical COVID stuff. But before that, we had like no little to no chargebacks. And even like after that, it was not that high. It's because we are now established. Like in the beginning, like it's we figured out like customer service is everything.
Yeah.
We are very upfront about it, and like a good thing for us is because like there's nobody really doing that we're doing, right? Normally, if you buy something and it takes longer than you would like to have, like to be, you'd be like, in your mind, you'd be like, "Fuck you! I'm going to buy it for someone else."
Yeah.
But for us, like, there's nobody really doing it, so like people were patient with us in the beginning. And also in Q4 as well. But we also we're just upfront. We are a small business. We are still figuring it out. We're in the beginning. So, and a huge part is it's because of the community, right? People are not just buying a regular product. They're just buying something that they actually like believe and like, and then also support the cause. Because I forgot to mention, actually, we do support different charities. So like that's another thing that we did implement in the beginning, is like like figuring out like different unique value proposition to actually like to make the sale, or to actually start building the brand and the emotional connection to the brand. So we started advertising, saying that we do donate to different charities, and people liked it. And I think that's another thing, that people just were patient also with us. I don't want to say patient. Our shipping times were not bad at all, but they were just Amazon times.
I think we have very good question here, because I wanted to get into conversion, right? We had conversations like a few times already, like about the conversion, and like, because what you will find is that even like Piper Lou, like it seems like these websites are following like specific kind of like process for the conversion. I mean, their product pages kind of like follow the same pattern. Like, so the question here is like, hello guys, want to ask you, what do you consider the most important thing on product page to make it sell? So let's see, we lost Dennis again. All right, we lost. Oh yeah, he's back.
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened.
No worries, man. You're in Germany, by the way, right?
Yeah, I'm in Germany.
In Frankfurt?
Yeah, in Frankfurt right now.
Cool. Yeah. So guys, if anyone is in Germany, you can connect with Dennis. So yeah. So the question I wanted to ask, what do you consider?
Last thing we say that we follow the site.
Yeah. So what do you kind of like? Do you have like a template or something that you kind of like consistently? Okay, these are the elements that must be like on the product page. These are the elements that need to be like above default. Like, what's your thought process on that?
Well, okay, so the product image, what we just currently use, we're just using just a regular mock-up with a white background, nothing too crazy.
Because it's all about the design itself, right? Like what it says, kind of like people see it, people like it, people resonate with it, people buy.
Yeah, the name of the game is just the design. Like nothing else matters until you have dialed down the design part. So let's say you have a winning design for the product page. It's just going to be, I mean, you can just look at the Piper Lou website. We have a similar setup. It's going to be the product page. I see one thing I see a lot of people doing wrong, or doing wrong is for if you, I mean, they have a lot of SKUs. So one product you see they have like, what is it, like 8 colors,
Yeah.
um, and then also like different sizes. That's just for the tumblers. What I see a lot of people doing wrong is definitely using drop downs instead of the color swatches. That's
Oh,
one thing
really?
I
So
tested.
so so this let's
Yeah,
say this versus like if there was a drop down and I would open it and it would say like pink,
yeah.
like sparkle mermaid, like so you've seen better results with actually kind of like where it's like just like visible right away. You don't have to click on a drop down.
Yeah, we saw that it performed the best. And we never stopped doing that. If you see for sizes, they have like these different swatches there as well. So that is one thing that we also do for our tumblers. But for example, like I saw some brands, or one thing that we also did test it is, for example, if we sell a T-shirt,
Mhm.
and instead of saying size, they would say, for example, like I don't know what it actually said, but say item. So instead, style. Actually, yeah, style.
Uh-huh.
So you see their style.
Wow.
So yeah, size chart is another thing that's very important. But like for style, you see they have like the hoodie and then the long sleeve.
Uh-huh.
We did test that, and we saw actually that actually did hurt our conversion,
Wow.
because you don't want to have too many options. Also in the beginning, we had a lot of colors that we offered. Like we had like 5, 6 colors that we offered, and now we just dialed down to 3 colors that we use everywhere. Because you don't want to give people too many options, because once they see too many options, they just like stop looking, and they just get.
Interesting. So let's say you have like different colors, like you would just cut the ones that just don't sell or sell like the worst so that people have
Yeah,
less options.
yeah, yeah.
Huh.
You don't want to give them too many options. That's why we also stopped doing the styles. We just have one product page for a t-shirt. You can select the size and color, and then we're gonna have a separate page for a hoodie, for example, where you have the same colors and the same sizes.
Would you say like so would you say this website, like from the conversion standpoint, like this is well optimized website?
It is. It is. If you scroll down, so one thing that's very important is, of course, at the card color, but at the card color. Um, so it needs to stand out. It needs to be like, if you have a brand guide, it needs to be a color that is not on the brand guide. You need to have a separate color just for your buttons. So
Oh,
that's something
really?
I definitely
Oh,
recommend.
wow. So let's say the whole website's like black and white, then you
Yeah,
want to have this button like a different color.
yeah, that's something I'll definitely recommend. Just because, like, you
Mm.
have, like, for example, if your store has like yellow and blue, and you have like different like shades of the blue and the yellow, you want to have a button color that's totally different. I don't know. There's a web, you can go to Adobe Colors. You can just type in your color code, or your main color code.
Mhm.
And you can play around. You see on the left side, for example, if you click on like shades or compound, square, you see these different colors
Oh, wow.
that fits the color. So for
Crazy
example,
shit.
if, for example, in the middle it would be your orange, right, or the
Uh-huh.
green now, then the one on the right, or whatever feels aesthetically pleasing to you, you can use that, because everything
Wow.
you see there, that fits the color that you selected in the beginning.
So cool.
So
Wow.
yeah,
So what are these options like? Which one would you kind of like stick with?
I,
There's so many
I don't
options here.
know. I don't know what these words actually mean. But I'm just looking at the colors, and for me, I know that these colors, like every color fits the color that I entered in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I just look at it. I just like look at my brand guide, the different colors, and just like just whatever I feel looks the best. That's it.
Wow. This is so cool.
And then you can go back to the Pipeloo website.
Uh-huh.
The most important part is definitely the unique value propositions that you have under the at the cart button. Um,
Oh, these three
yeah,
these three little things here.
yeah. Usually, a lot of people are just like adding these payment icons,
Uh-huh.
save, checkout. Those
Like
I'm not
Visa,
saying those are
MasterCard,
not working.
PayPal and stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying those are not working anymore. I'm not saying that. But like we just figured out like those like just have like a stronger meaning behind that. And the goal of a brand is to figure out like what is your most unique value proposition.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we figured those out is we installed an app on our website. I forgot the name of it, but basically it's just a survey app. It asks a question on the thank you page. And I can't remember exactly what our question was, but I think it was something like, what was the number one reason you almost didn't buy our product?
Oh
Um,
wow, that's
and
so good.
and we just like received so many different informations, like, hey, for example, like I wasn't sure about the colors, but then also at the same time, we ran a split test with why was the reason you bought the product, and we received information for both sides.
Uh-huh.
And when we asked them what they did like, then they said, for example, did you support this charity, or that is printed in blah blah blah, or that you offer this and that. So like, example of a unique value proposition is, for example, if your products are made in the United States, that can definitely be a unique value proposition that you can test out.
Mm-hmm.
Or they have like money back guarantee. If you don't do POD, you can just do like a warranty thing. It's just like those things that just you want to have highlighted. But again, like, run surveys and figure out what those are for you. For us, it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely supporting charities.
Was it
Uh,
like was it like so like was it something that like kind of like initially um like help you to figure out that product market fit, like running those surveys? Or that's just like or you already had some momentum and you started using like surveys to get even more, like
yeah,
at what
exactly.
stage of the business like did you start using surveys?
Well, we started surveys like 6 months in probably, but like just with the thank you page, like it's nothing crazy. It's just like one question you're gonna ask.
Mm-hmm.
But we also like started doing surveys on our email site, like an email flow, where they would get like a $10 gift card if they
Yeah.
ask, they respond to you specific questions. And it did help out, but we stopped doing it because it was just already enough information. We started going to do it again once we're going to reach a new level. But like those definitely help to understand your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, for example, I don't think we would be here right now where we are if you wouldn't be like a brand that also supports charities.
Mm.
I think that was like, I think everybody in their business should definitely consider something like this, like supporting a charity,
Mm-hmm.
because it can definitely like the emotional connection between your customer and your brand is going to be like way better than your competitors because you're just doing something else. The one thing that we actually started looking into is collabing with a charity every single month or every single quarter. So, for example, if you reach out to a charity saying, "Hey, I like your charity," and they don't need to be big, but like just like a small charity where they have like Facebook followers with like 10,000 people and
Mm-hmm.
let's say 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 email list. And our plan is just to like contact these people and just say, "Hey, we like your charity, we want to help you, and I think we can help each other both ways. We want to make a t-shirt that is just specifically designed for a charity,
Mm-hmm.
where we're going to promote it to our email list, and through each sale you're going to get like, I don't know, like 10%, 50%, whatever. Actually, with the collaboration, it's going to be higher than 10%. It's going to be like, I don't know, like we have to figure out the number, but let's say, for example, 50% of the profits you're going to get. And then we also want you to promote that to your fans and to your audience, because then you're going to help us. And at the same time, if you promote that T-shirt, you're going to get money anyways. And then if we do it every single month or every single quarter with a different charity, people love to support, and they're going to see us from a different perspective. And it's not going to be just a regular T-shirt store that's just going to sell T-shirts, because we're going to actually do something that we stand behind.
This is so cool. This is so cool. I have a comment here. Check out my buddy Hone's Industry Threadworks. They do a lot of contract printing for high-end brands. Are you
Yeah,
familiar with this company?
I know them. I think they're based in the UK. I don't know. I don't know if we talk about the same one, but we actually do have a supplier now in Michigan.
Uh-huh.
We have contracted pricing, so it's we used to have a 15,000 square feet warehouse as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just had, like, we were in a small town in Indiana, and in Q4 we couldn't find the people that we need like seasonally. So that's why we had like long shipping times, just because we couldn't find 80 people in one month. So now we have contracted pricing with our supplier in Michigan, and we also sell to Canada. And in Canada is actually pretty cool because we turned a print shop into a POD print shop that is just like currently just working for us and just like prints it and fulfills it for us.
That's awesome. So here's like, so we had this question about the product page. Federico's steal from your competitors as they spend on ads, the product page sells. Like, do you like believe this? Like that you just like, let's say someone's doing well in your market, you kind of like just like copy exactly what they do, like maybe with some slight tweaks and like just roll with it?
Well, I don't think I haven't answered the whole question from the beginning about product research. But yeah, I mean, the name of the game is just finding something that's working. That's why I covered talking about these memes. If a meme does good and you can turn it into a shirt, try it out, test it out. Another way we find products nowadays is we have a community. We have, I think, 12,000 people in our Facebook VIP group, over 100,000 over 100,000 followers combined on Facebook and Instagram. So we do get a lot of emails.
So do you get sales from like Facebook group? Like you post something and you get actual like you actually get sales?
Yes, we do like a lot of stuff in our community. We do just like, like for example, we have a graphic designer and she also like, comes up with designs. It's just not just like product research. Sometimes she's sitting at home, just comes up with the designs. Like, because like for us it was hard because like we have no big competitors. It was hard to to find designs, so we had to start making our own designs. And that's when the fun part comes, because you're going to start testing designs, you're going to start understanding your audience, and you're going to start understanding what they actually like. And then from there on, you're going to see like these different things in your designs that did work well, and you start taking those components of those designs and just adding into the new designs with slight variations. For example, for us, it took us like a year to figure out that our customers love designs with a flag on it. If it has a flag on it, like the American flag on it, it sells. And then, then we have a design that doesn't have a flag on it, but it's just funny and just shows a certain design or whatever. And that does well. We take these two components with a flag, other design, we just put it together and create a new t-shirt, and it just sells again, right? So like it just comes down to like really understanding your audience and like what they actually like. So for us, it's funny thing and all about patriotism. And then another way we find designs, so I covered memes, I covered these Etsy things. One thing, honestly, now when I'm thinking about it, like all these research methods that we have right now just came just because we struggled, because we just couldn't find designs, so we had to get creative. So one way was definitely, or like a good way, and the thing is for us right now, the best way is there's so many different t-shirt brands out there, and you don't need to find a competitor in your niche. For example, I talked to you about this, Alex, the last time. You can take a t-shirt design that is not even your industry. That could be, for example, like tailored to dogs. And if the concept itself sells, you can change it a little bit and just make it work for you. I'm going to give you an example. There's a t-shirt, like a t-shirt design that says, I'm into fitness. And then there's a picture of a taco on it. And then below it says, fitness taco in my mouth. So that design is selling. It doesn't fit our audience at all, but it sells. So what you can do is you can take the same concept, I'm into fitness, and then fitness blah 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 into blah blah blah. Right? It's the same concept. Don't change it. You just change the couple words so it fits your brand and your audience. So like that's something we figured out we can do, because again, there's so many different t-shirt brands out there, and then all these different Etsy stores and whatever, eBay, Amazon, whatever you have. If it sells, all I need to know is selling. If it sells, I can change it and make it work for me.
Wow, this is so cool. So what is like the I think we had a comment here. Look in their website, a lot of their designs are not unique. In fact, has some of the products in archery and hunting. That's similar to your niche, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we even tried adding similar looking designs to our store. Apparel wasn't the main focus of the brand, though. So it didn't scale up.
That's yeah. I mean, it really depends on the brand. If you look at Piperloo has like their designs all look very similar. They all use the same font everywhere. They use the same layout. They just use one color,
How
black.
much revenue, how much volume you think they're doing here, like
Ooh,
Piperloo?
it depends on. Sometimes they do $5 million a month, sometimes less. But like
Wow.
they do a
They
lot
do
of money.
they do few million a month.
Yeah, they do a lot. They do make a lot of money.
Wow.
That's the
Shit.
thing with POD, like like it nothing is like really like consistent because
Uh-huh.
like you have months where you don't have a design where it's super like it's going hard.
Uh-huh.
But then once you have a design, you can actually scale that up. Like for example, like these other like I also have other e-commerce store like in the health and beauty niche.
Uh-huh.
It takes time to build that up, to build the momentum up, to get everything up. With
Mm-hmm.
POD, if you have a design, you can start spending $10,000 a day if it works.
Hmm.
So
How much like usual? I mean, maybe like it's all over the place, but it definitely all over the place. But it's like, what's usually the range? Like, let's say you find like a product that works. Like, how much volume would that product be able to like? Would you be able to generate with it? How much revenue?
it's hard to tell. I haven't actually looked at it honestly, but I think we had some designs that made like $300,000, $500,000, and they don't stop.
Wow.
Like I know Grunt Style had designs that made millions.
Wow.
Like it really depends on like if it really depends on the design and how good it is and how it actually can sell because look at like Sheet Republic for example. They make a shit ton of money when election time was, right? Like with
Yeah.
the whole political thing, which is all over my feed and everybody's feed. So I don't know how much they made on the design. It really depends on the design and what is currently happening in the industry or in the world. Like for example, I know someone who made a lot of money when Kobe Bryant died and made a T-shirt out of it and made like $60,000 in his first day.
Wow. Okay,
Like
so kind of the timing is
yeah,
sometimes could be like.
timing is everything. Like when COVID happened, like a lot of people had COVID related designs. Grunstyle, for example, like what they did is like they had a design that was a really good seller,
Uh-huh.
and when COVID hit, I think the one said like the design said like "fuck your feelings." It didn't say "fuck your feelings," but it was just like a dry man humping the word feelings.
Uh-huh.
And they changed it when COVID hit because it was a good selling design. And you take a component out of it, right? You take the design and it changed it to like the dry, like the stick man dry humping the word COVID-19.
Mm.
So like
It-
it really depends on what's happening in your industry or in the world, because there are some designs that have a life cycle, but the way we look at the designs, like right now, one thing I also do want to cover is what we figured out about testing designs is we launched something called $15 Fridays.
Mhm.
So every single Friday, we have an email list with 150,000 people in it. Well, actually, I think 160,000 people now. So we launch an email every single Friday with between like 6 to 10 designs. And before that, we started testing just like those designs on Facebook. And Facebook is getting expensive, and
Yeah.
you never know what design sells. So it's just it was just bringing our ad spend ratio down every single time we tested those designs.
Mhm.
Um, so we did is like introducing $15 Fridays. So we launching 6 to 10 designs every single week.
$50 or $15?
15, 1 5, $15.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
1 5. Uh-huh.
So we sell it for $15 at every single Friday. And
Uh-huh.
first of all, we make a lot of money on Fridays because
Uh-huh.
it's a sale. But what our customers don't know is we actually do it for one reason, or not one reason, but the main reason we're doing is because you want to see what sells the most. Out of these 6 to 10
Mm.
designs, probably like two or three, one, two, three designs like hit. Okay, those are like the good sellers, and then you can take those 3 designs to Facebook and test it out there instead of testing like 10 designs. So now we have like a sale that's going on every single Friday. People get excited about it and constantly buying our t-shirts. So first of all, a lot of people have our t-shirts now, and they're gonna wear it on the streets, and a lot of people are seeing them now. But then
Mhm.
also we make money because at $15 we still making profit. And we know what we can test behind Facebook.
You sell those organically, right? Like that's with your like organic channels.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It we're gonna send it to our email list, and then also to our VIP group.
How much revenue would you like generate on the regular like Friday?
It depends on like on a Friday. It really depends on. Right now we are in our low season because we had like some Facebook issues. Like sometimes just an email alone could like just like email and SMS could generate like $4,000 on a Friday.
Very cool. And then the design that would actually kind of like work, right?
Yeah, sometimes we just have like one design that just sells the most. Like we just get like 50 sales just of one design, and then we know okay, that design is going to do well on Facebook.
Wow, is that like very like Q4 kind of like dependent business model?
Well, POD is like a regular POD store that is not like just tailored, for example, like Shoe Republic with like election time. Like POD, if you think about it, it's a very giftable product. People buy it as gifts. So yeah, Q4 plays a heavy role. So like you need to know like when your low seasons are and when your high seasons are. So for us, like Q3 and Q4 definitely are high seasons. And like any other gift, like a gift product store, you're gonna have like the worst months in Q1 because everybody like already bought their gifts for Christmas. Then you have like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all that. So like people don't want to buy gifts anymore. But like like Grunt Style, they cracked the code because they've been in this game for so long and they build a community and they just sell this stuff like all year long. So I mean, it takes time to get there. But in the beginning, yeah, it's going to be definitely more giftable, and that's when Q3 and Q4 is going to play a huge part in your business.
Cool. So we have a question here. Would it not be cheaper to get it printed in China, or would shipping make it too expensive?
I wouldn't even like think about a shipping part. Like the printed part would be something that's concerning because how many like shipping time is one thing, but like knowing what to sell, right? You're not gonna have like just one design that's gonna sell consistently. You're gonna have days where you're gonna have like, for example, you're gonna sell 50 units of this t-shirt in one day, and the next day is gonna be a different design that's gonna sell more, right? It's gonna vary. Like for us right now, it's gonna be like 4 or 5 designs that are just like like top 5 and it's going up and down. It just makes it hard to really understand like, hey, like I need to get this printed, how many units you want to print. So like finding the design first you want to print first, then you need to know what colors. So for us, we have 3 different colors, so that's a lot of money. And then also like different sizes.
Oh
so
wow,
it's
yeah.
a lot of money.
So each item in reality is like, let's say 3 colors, 5 sizes, like 15 different like wow.
15 different SKUs just for one design. And then on top of that, you're going to have the hoodie version of it. So it's going to be another 15.
Wow.
And then probably you're going to have a hat on that as well, or a tumbler. If it sells, like we try to put it on everything. If it sells, it's going to be in a hoodie, it's going to be on a hat, it's going to be on tumbler.
Man, like after this experience, like you come into like simpler like e-commerce model, you absolutely destroy it because it's a lot simpler.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said, it has its ups and downs, but I like it. I like it.
You like what's your favorite like thing about it? Like it's kind of like getting that like when it resonates with the market and when you have this like very quick kind of like momentum. That's your favorite part about it?
Well, the favorite part for me right now is definitely the community we built. Like we have like when we started the business, my goal was like to have a customer in a couple of years that is willing to get our logo tattooed somewhere on their body. Like that's what we wanted to build a community. Because like like coming from drop shipping, like I made $1 million in 52 days in sales. Also like lost a lot of money, so like I never like felt like actually like really good about this. But like like with POD or with my brand, like the community that we build, like seeing people like posting our stuff like without even asking them, right? Like just seeing them posting our stuff and just saying how much they love it, and then recommending it to other people. Like people emailing us and just like giving us like all kind of cute stories, and it's just something that I really like love to see. And our community, like I wake up every single morning. I'll go on Facebook and I see like multiple people like just posting stuff about their whatever they achieve or whatever question they had, just asking in our group. And like, it just feels amazing, like building a community where people support each other, ask questions, and then just supporting us.
Very, very cool. Cool. So what's like I mean you see also like in our community, right? Like you see some people doing well, some people some doing not as well. So what do you think like differentiates like successful like e-commerce entrepreneurs versus people that are not as successful?
Being consistent like is like the most important thing, I would say. Like if you start doing something, do this every single day. Like it's the same
Mm,
thing with going to the gym. You're gonna fail. Like for me, like if I start something, I don't even want to understand it like perfectly. I just want to
mhm,
start, right? For example, if I want to, like, I know I want to lose weight, I'm just
mhm,
going to hit the gym. I don't even care if I know how to use the machine, or I don't even know how many calories I need to eat. I'm just going to go
mhm,
to I'm going to go to the gym the next day. The next day, I'm going to do this again, like the day after as well. I'm just going to do it every single day. Then, once you do it every single day, you're going to feel like, okay, like I feel like my diet is off, or
mm,
I don't feel like I'm doing it right. I think I should do more reps, right? And then
mhm,
while you're moving forward, you're going to start asking more questions, and you're going to research those, and you're going to start like getting better at these, right? It's going to be one thing at a time, but you have to stay consistent. That's what I had a call with I had an ESS call like before, and we talk about like community building, and like I told him like the same thing, like being consistent. If you want to start like posting a blog or sending a blog email out
yeah.
every on a Monday, do it the next Monday as well. Like do it every single Monday, like in a full calendar year. Just do it every single.
Mm,
And that's like I think that's what differentiates like someone who's successful and someone who's not, because you're gonna fail, but if you're gonna stay consistent and like never give up and like do it every single time, you're gonna get there. I don't know how, but you're gonna get there. Like there have been multiple times in my life, and I'm like looking back, I'm like, how the hell did I get here? I don't know how it happened, but like just being consistent, like it just helped. And I think
mm,
for me, like that's something. If you want to do something, do it. Like my motto is, if I want something, I get it, and if I don't get it, I never wanted it. Simple as that.
hmm. That's a good point, man. Like I see some comments, people saying, "Oh, I've like tested, like on YouTube or like Facebook groups, like, oh, I've tested like 50 products, like, or, I've done this and like and nothing works, and like, you know, um, and then at some point, like people might like at that point, people might just like, all right, I'll go and like
Yeah.
look into like another opportunity, or just like, I'll just quit, and like that person might be like 1, 2, 3 moves away from like getting their breakthrough.
Yeah. Like think about it this way. You're just one product / one design away from changing your whole life.
Mm.
Like think of like I talk about $15 Fridays where we launch like 6 to 10 designs every single week. What do you think? How many of these failed? Like a lot of them failed. A lot. Like we have Fridays where we like brought in like almost no money. Like that's okay, but like you're gonna get there next week. If not next week, then the week after. Like you're gonna get there eventually. You just have to learn and understand what like analyze what you did. You don't
Hmm.
need to understand. You need to understand what you did wrong, like 100%. But like just like try to look at it and just understand it. Like try to understand it. Just keep going. You're gonna understand it eventually. You're gonna understand
Mm.
it one day.
Understand. It's kind of like trying to like reverse engineer and understand, like maybe like is there like any is there like is it like, for example, testing products in like POD, have you seen that as a kind of like scientific, or it's more like a like random kind of like, obviously there is some element of like luck and some element of like, for whatever reason, like some products resonate with people, but like what's your experience with this? Like have you seen it like that you can kind of like reverse engineer and find the formula for like perfect like design, or not really, or it's
There-
still like the element of luck?
there's no like it's I mean, everything is luck a little bit, but
Uh-huh.
like it really comes down to developing an eye for it. Like for example, like you and I, right? We can just look at a list of products without any numbers
Mm-hmm.
and just like like get a feel and see what could sell, right? We just
Mm-hmm.
developed an eye for it. The same with POD. Like in the beginning, I had no idea what it was doing, but like just being consistent, I developed an eye for it. And now, when I have a call with my graphic designer every single week, we go over the launch list and like whatever design she created, and I just look at it and say, okay, good, that could sell, that could not sell, that could sell. But at the same time, like sometimes I'm just super wrong. Like there could be a design where I was thinking like it would never sell, and it just takes off.
Yeah, it's the same as I said. Like, yeah, it's like we hire like younger people, and then like saying, yeah, we have this like 50 years old lady, and she's like crushing it. Like,
we have a social media manager as well. Like, she's I think she's also over 40. Like she loves our brand. Like when I actually hired her, like she was the happiest person I've ever seen. And just like ever since, I just knew like she's the perfect person for the brand, because like before that we talked to somebody else who just wanted a lot of money but with the experience. But like not going to hire somebody better that actually cares about your brand and loves the brand and wants to grow it. Like doesn't matter experience. Like we hired somebody like we wanted to hire a COO, worked with a couple of months and it didn't work out. But like we hired someone that didn't have the experience that person had, but like just loved our brand and like actually saw the vision for it, and just worked her ass off, and just like did everything she could to actually get our name out there and just building this brand for us or a community. So yeah, I mean, like I think it's just all about being consistent and like developing an eye for it, and then started getting like trusting your gut feeling, because like that's develop like over time, like developing a gut feeling for certain things.
good stuff, man. So how can people connect with you?
I'm still a little bit active on my Instagram account. My Instagram account is Musko. It's just with 2 U's, so it's MUUSKO. Haven't posted there in a couple of years. I think 2 years now. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'm
you have some good parties here on this, like.
Yeah, that was back then when I lived in LA.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, let me just show you guys. Let me just show you like that's that seems like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh man. Yeah, this one.
That was in Bali. One of my favorite pictures.
Oh man. Yeah. Good. Good stuff, man. So good shot. I mean, I've personally got several things like reinforced, learned a few things. Think guys have enjoyed it as well. So yeah, guys, you can connect with Musko. He's also in our community, Commerce Scaling Secrets, helping as well. With kind of like passing the knowledge that he's accumulated to guys like very very knowledgeable, very like value add all the time, man. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, thank you for joining me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, cool, guys. Yeah, we'll have the recording here as well. So if you want to like rewatch, I think some of the things, like even on the conversion side, I mean, some of those like little things can help you drastically increase the conversion. Like color scheme, like that is massive. A lot of the times it's like it's the same. The whole website is black, and then the buttons are also black, which is like kind of like like doesn't attract that attention that it needs, because that's the most important thing that you want to kind of like put emphasis on the website.
Yeah.
So,
and then also another thing is product description can also help. I don't think it's going to play a huge role, but product description, if you have something funny, get a copy of it. If you can't do it, like writing up something funny, that like that definitely also like could help your conversion rate.
Good stuff. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you in next videos. Thank you, Musko.
Awesome. Thank you.